welcome to Winthrop Close-Up. I'm Trent Ferris.
And I'm Natalie D'Amico. South Carolina recognized Martin Luther King Day for the first time as a state holiday this year. Schools, banks, and government offices were given the day off. But even with the day off, some Winthrop students didn't sit around on the holiday.
90 students were given the opportunity to travel 365 miles to Atlanta to take part in the National Martin Luther King celebration. Marissa Cleaver has more. Winthrop Close-Up will cover that series in a later newscast. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you why there's so many bulldozers on campus.
And we'll tell you when you can expect to trade in your dorm room for an apartment.
More Winthrop Close-Up after the break.
The construction is part of Winthrop's 10-year improvement plan. Lee Cheatham has more.
There are several construction sites around campus. Sims is being renovated to house new science and laboratory classrooms. The construction in front of Burns Auditorium is getting a new sign to welcome everyone to Winthrop University. But what has most Winthrop students curious are the renovations at the baseball stadium.
Winthrop's baseball field is getting a makeover. Currently under construction, the new stadium has Winthrop students and baseball players excited about the upcoming season.
Freshman Bart Ballington hopes that the new stadium will bring more recognition to Winthrop.
And I'm hoping it brings a lot more exposure to Winthrop around the southeast, and I'm really anxious to see some games over there.
Workers are hard at work to assure that the stadium will be completed in time for Winthrop's season opener against Mercer University on February the 10th.
With photographer Trent Ferris, I'm Lee Cheatham reporting.
The baseball stadium is not the only makeover at Winthrop. Renovations of the publications office are underway, giving it a new and improved look. Located on the bottom floor of Bancroft, this former lab has flooded 3 times in the last 2 years, leaving it in need of a cleanup. Along with new carpeting and a repaired drainage system, the office also has a fresh coat of paint, furniture, and wooden triangle sculptures. Editor-in-chief of the Johnsonian, Melissa Kearney, feels the renovations are a great idea.
Instead of having a computer set up right next to each other on a long table, which encourages talking among the editors, we now have a separate desk for each computer, which has a lot more workspace and everything else. And that means that work gets done instead of them talking to each other all the time, and we get out of here a lot earlier.
The renovations will be completed in the next several weeks.
Winthrop has a 10-year plan on the table to accommodate an increase in student enrollment and a surge of requests for room privacy. Sam Campo has more on the plans.
The housing cabinet.
With classes starting and the spring activities beginning, some students decided to go Greek.
This year's spring recruitment, also known as Rush, provided more than 75 women with a chance to join a sorority. Jennifer Bowers has more on the story.
It may have not been John, Paul, George, and Ringo, but students and faculty loved them anyway. Matthew Saunders reports on a group that has a stamp of approval by the Beatles themselves.
Oh my gosh, this is a great show. You're going to close your eyes.
1964. The Tribute was part of the Dinkins Student Union Spring Series. For $10, students can gain access to 10 DSU events. Passes are available at the information desk in Dinkins and at events.
That's all for this edition of Winthrop Close-Up.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Natalie. Good night. Population of around 5,000 students, Winthrop Public Safety strives to preserve a safe campus environment by providing around-the-clock patrols to ensure the protection of students. Not only does public safety protect the students' best interest, they also empower students to protect their own personal well-being. And certificates stating that they were there for the first game of the season in the new stadium. Although the stadium's not finished yet, it didn't keep Winthrop fans and students from coming out to watch a great day of baseball. Workers sponsored athletics. Winthrop students are happy that the farm is not going to be used for a new high school.
Well, we like to come out here and get sun and read.
98.3 WINR. WINR is always looking for new voices to DJ, make promotions, and much, much more.
If you're interested, tune in to 98.3 FM or call extension 2506 to join in on the fun.
What's up? I'm Michelle Stroman.
And I'm Trent Ferris. The terrorist tragedies on September 11th have not been forgotten by the community of Winthrop or Rock Hill. Tonight we will see how the Rock Hill community has continued to support the relief effort.
One local Iranian businessman combined good food and fun with good people to raise over $20,000 for the American Red Cross. Carla Kipp. The York County American Red Cross is still accepting blood and monetary donations.
Like many Americans, children are still asking the questions why and how this happened. Members of the Education Department held a forum to give parents and educators some answers to those questions.
I'm Bobby Williams reporting.
Education professors are also teaching their Winthrop students how to handle crisis situations in the classroom.
Students can expect closed lanes and road work on Interstate 77. Sherry Spagnolia tells us when we can expect clearer roadways.
Workers have begun adding Spagnolia reporting.
Be aware that while crews are working on the road, the speed limit on I-77 is reduced to 45 miles per hour.
The month of October, a time for falling leaves and a time for pumpkins, but also a time for Charlotte's annual Race for the Cure.
See how Winthrop students participated in the race after the break.
Stay with us. October is also Mental Health Awareness Month. Mass communication students learn how to cover issues of mental health in the media.
Members of the Eagles tennis team were plucked out of Rock Hill to play in the National Collegiate Tennis Championships.
After the break, Carla Kiffmeyer will talk with one of the players who went to California in the meet. Stay with us.
It may only be fall, but the women's softball team is already picking up wins, and they're doing it on a new field, too.
That's right, the Eagles have a new home to play softball. After leaving for the summer, the softball team came back to Winthrop with a brand new facility, including a new scoreboard, new fencing, and a new press tower. Also, new locker rooms are in the works. The team has tested out the new facilities in their first fall tournament. Out of 15 teams, the Eagles finished first in their pool against Presbyterian College, Limestone, and UNC Pembroke. The Eagles will host Big South competition at their new nest in the spring season.
Winthrop basketball and baseball aren't the only
history. Tickets are $3 with Winthrop ID. Contact the Johnson box office for dates and times.
That wraps up this edition of Winthrop Close-Up. Thank you for joining us this week.
Join us after fall break when we talk about Winthrop's involvement in the annual Rock Hill County Fair.